And so I just see myself as one little cog in the whole system of everything. But what I do is if I see there's an issue or see there's something that needs to get done, I step in to do it, because, if I don't go and do it, who will? And there. So I'm kind of just the whole thing that I designed up for the equality currency, or if we change the name to the equality keys, it's really designed up to, I took charge of it at the start, but I turn it over and let the people run it. It's the same way with the other things that I'm done in there. It's like, I don't want to be in charge. I want the people to be in charge, because that's really where it's going to last long term there. So hopefully that came a little bit.
Great. In all of our communication, Paul, is that you show a deep and profound alignment with spirit, and everything you've written just reminds me of stuff that I've also written and channeled. It very much seems like we are channeling the exact same thing. So better to do it together.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think we're all on the same page.
The whole thing with the whole, when I was seeing with Dakota and your keys, you have connection, you have people, but the main thing you're missing to make it a super powerhouse was the physical backed assets, which you already kind of had there going, but let's link them up in a positive way and show them on the website in a positive way, because what we're after is a lot of these people that, just picture the people that don't want to change, don't want to do anything, but they're after, hey, look, how can I make money with this, or how can I do it? They start using it and growing it. We can invite those people, because as they become invited, they start learning more, and it's through their education and they're opening their mind, and all of a sudden they see the vision, and just any one of those people can, be the new Gandhi or be the new world changer from there. So we kind of really want to include everybody. And so that was one way that I saw that we would appeal to a lot of different people, was to have that, backing by silver or gold or precious metals, backing by land, backing on this. But, having a 5,000 foot warehouse jam-packed full of gold doesn't do anybody any good. Have a little bit of gold and silver assets, own 180,000 or million acres of land producing organic.
Constant circulation, I think that would be a great thing.
Yeah, it's that. It's the real value is out there in the world there. So we want to just bring in all aspects of all people and bring them all in and educate them and assist them, because it's the people that change. Get that 1% and the world is changing, period.
And in a DAO, I think the best way to demonstrate that form of leadership, which is leadership for all the people, where everybody can express, interpret, receive, and give, is that for leaders or center coordinators, such as Leela, DK, and if this merger goes through, Paul, to lead in setting an example by giving and allowing the people to have time to react, to allowing the people to have time to choose and seriously consider and be in that feeling of choice.
Yes.
And it's the leaders who give that space, give that freedom to all to play with it.
Well said, Mito. Thank you. I've got one other question for you, Paul. And so I saw in your documentation, we're funding the nonprofits. What about the little people that don't have a nonprofit? What about someone who just has a small vision dream? We're still in alignment with supporting them and giving them a nonprofit shell and enabling them to fulfill their highest purpose, not just big groups?
Oh yeah, definitely. The little person who just wants to jump in, I told one of my friends who they try to live without any money and value and all this, and I said, look, just go in and get yourself $100 worth. Go give plasma 5 times, get your $100, put it in there, wait 20 years. That $100 is going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, just because things grow. And it's like that. So a little person could just go and buy it and hold on to it, because naturally the value is going to increase. But but you know, that little person that's, hey, look, I'm homesteading, or I've got this land and I want to go and start producing organic food or building houses or doing all this. We totally want to go and support them. It's really easy to set up a nonprofit, set up a business plan, set up all this, and being able to get them to commit, and we can then go out and assist them, you know, there. So it is about whether or not you're, you know, one of the main big boys out there, or if you're just trying to do it by yourself or your little community. It doesn't matter, because it takes everybody to do it.
Perfect. And just one little add-on clarification. I read in your documentation that we're really going to focus on giving coins to groups that like have something to back it. So if a community does have land, we'll give them a lot of coins, and then they back the land with it. But again, what about people with nothing? Will we have a percentage of our currency that's allocated for just strictly at-need populations and projects to help them?
That would go with the nonprofits. The nonprofits that got the backing, they get the coins. They can then allocate it to their people that they feel is good.
Got it.
It's that way. That way, we still have the backing, and then more things can go along. There's a lot of ways to go about and doing things, but if you want to see some major success from this and move it going, keep growing these backed assets. These backed assets, as they keep growing. I mean, just imagine where Bitcoin's price would be right now if there was actually a nonprofit that was holding, you know, let's say 10% of the Bitcoin value, you know, $4 billion in gold. You know, look, Bitcoin is actually backed by $4 billion of gold. The price would even be worth more, you know, even at that. Imagine if it was 40 billion. The price of Bitcoin would probably be at $20,000 or $200,000 on that. So as we can back the coin with land and with other assets and good things, it's just going to create more money for those nonprofits. You know, the nonprofit that got their coin at $1 is now going to sell it for $100, and now they have $100 worth of more backed assets, which is then going to create more value to the currency in the coin, which is going to drive more people who don't know anything about cryptocurrency jump in. I mean, if once we get our whole platform out there and get it launched, imagine us showing up in the top 10 cryptocurrencies under the market cap.
I talked about that.
Who is this? What is this? Where did he come from? It's going to create a lot of activity.
Definitely did. Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely did.
I got a question.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if someone has a house that they own, let me go on that one. Let me go on that one. Okay. So if someone has a house that they own and they own it outright, let's just say, or maybe even they have a little bit of a mortgage on it, what would be your protocol for that? Would they be able to say, I'm leasing now from you, and be able to like sign over the house for cryptocurrency, or how does that kind of thing work?
There could be all types of cool things happen like this. Things that I was envisioning, for example, just through my organization, my Native American church there, we really like people to branch out and start other lodges and other groups in their local area and start doing it. And like, let's just say in that scenario, someone said, hey, look, I wanted to donate this house. We'd have them donate it to the nonprofit. The nonprofit would give them stewardship over it, meaning they can live and caretake and take it. And then maybe, I'm trying to think of it legally. Legally, the nonprofit can't give them coins to back it because that's an exchange. But another nonprofit that's not associated with this could, or I could for my personal stash, you know, there. So we can go around and make it so in some way, shape, or form, the asset is protected, but you also have all of the cryptocurrency in your name. We'll have to go and talk about it the lawyers wise and see out the best way. But yes, there's definitely a way that can happen where everybody is taken care of, and it's a win-win-win-win-win, because now you take those assets and you're able to sell them, and you go in and put more value into the property. Well, then now you have more assets that can be backed, which means you can get more coins, and then that cycle can keep going. Like I was telling Dakota early on, take $1 million of your cryptocurrency, dump it back into more assets. Now you get another $1 million because of the assets in, and you dump it in, and you keep going, and you always keep going and going and going until eventually, eventually it's just a massive avalanche.
So great. This kind of rolls into the question that I have for both of you, both cryptocurrency creators here, DK or Dakota Kaiser, as well as Paul. Man found standing. And if I can, whoever wants to go first, actually, what is your vision or dream for the end result of your cryptocurrency? What do you see, and how do you see your idea of keys or equality coin? Where do you see its future, and how? And if you can just share that, whoever wants to go first.
You want to go first, Dakota, or you want me to?
Go for it, Paul.
Okay. Okay. For the past, 35 plus years, I've been telling people, what are you doing? It's like, I'm going to change the world. We're going to change the world. We're going to make it better. And the long-term goal with let me kind of tell you what I've been telling people is I will know that the equality coin, or whatever we call it, is a success when we're at 100 billion market cap, which is a little bit over, 2.1 times Bitcoin is right now. I'll consider that a success. But at that time, I wanted to be completely non-existent. I'm like out of the books. I might be somebody who pops in waves every once in a while, but the whole system is run completely all without me ever looking at it or any of that. But the whole key for all of that I was really after, it's change the world. We can really eliminate money in the world. This is one step, but in 50 or 100 years, it can be completely eliminated. I mean, right now, if you were to take the world's assets and divide them up amongst all the people on the planet, everybody on the planet is getting $35 billion. The world is so abundantly rich. We don't need this money. The money came about from lack of love is where it comes to, and I have a whole story that talks about that. But kind of where I start seeing it is the nonprofits go out and start buying land and building communities and making organic farms and growing things and start creating more value. Like, for example, let's just say, this example here, New Jersey, on their license plate, it says the Garden State. And people like, New Jersey, Garden State. Why is that? New Jersey has over 180,000 acres of farmland there, and each farm is about no more than 5-minute drive to a major freeway system. So they grow the food and they can get it on the trucks and get it shipped out. Now they're between New York and Philadelphia, the two main population centers. If you turned around and we slowly started increasing the equality coin value and using nonprofits started going out and buying this farmland in New Jersey, well, what happens when you own all the farmland in New Jersey? Hey, look, I'm going to raise the price of tomatoes 20 cents a pound. Guess what? You just make an extra $1 billion a month. Now, what good can you do with that? Where can you go? But the whole thing where I'm really going with it is the people, the nonprofits are going to be in control of their money supply, in control of their food supply, housing, all their needs, growing, doing things, taking it where they can start really growing it and having value after value after value, and eventually come to a place of, look, everybody on this planet is worth something. Everybody on this planet deserves to have their basic needs met. Even, of course, if they do more work, they could have something nicer, but if they just want to be, not doing anything and being a slug watching TV all day long, it's like, it's okay. Here, have a house, be a slug in there and do all that, or make them do, an hour worth of work a week. I mean, really, if we use technology to our advantage, there's no reason why, everybody on the planet can have everything that I have now, plus all they have to do is work an hour a week. The technology is so wonderful and all that. So really what it goes is the people united together to stop the corruption happening, uniting together so we can then change the world for better. No more of this bickering and arguing and fighting over stuff. I'm going to shoot you because I want your TV. Want a TV? Just go get one. The stores are free.
That's
go
a beautiful dream. Definitely dragged a little bit longer, but thank you very much. $100 billion net worth and increase the value for everybody and create freedom is what I got out of that.
Yeah.
Which is very beautiful dream. Dakota Kaiser, what is your vision, your dream for the keys currency, and how do you see it influencing the world?
I see us as a mass empowerment engine. We are here to empower every individual and every group who wants to be in alignment with unity and a world that unconditionally provides for all of the humans on it. I see that through empowering one another and making empowerment easily and readily accessible, we will eliminate all of the problems that we face today. Poverty, war, tyranny, indentured servitude, slavery, even sickness, and all the results of negative health will no longer face us when we as a human race have individual access to what I call sovereignty. Just may not be the best marketing term, but real independence, real freedom, real empowerment. That's my vision. And I also see a world where we don't need money, where everyone has everything, not only that they need to survive, but the tools that they need to fulfill their highest purpose and thrive. I think both these things are as equally important. And through our own economic system designed to facilitate these things, we can have them relatively
How
very
do you see
quickly.
the keys play a factor or a role in this world change?
Many of the things that was talked about just a bit earlier, just the sheer mechanisms that are an economic system. When we as a people are using our own economic system, we as a people benefit. When we as a people are using an economic system created by tyrants to control and enslave a global population, that's what we get. So just by a baseline of choosing to use a currency that we control rather than some other group, it gives us the power. And the reality is there is so much more than enough on the planet, and it is literally the economic system that stops us from getting it. So we need a new one, and this is that new system.
Beautiful. That's awesome. I can't even sum it up. It was all hard. I can't give it a summary. But that's beautiful. I think that's a great vision, I think, for both of you. Cryptocurrencies, I do believe, will be a major factor in the world change in the future. And I look forward to that future, whether it be keys or equality or equality keys. I'm looking forward to that.
Equality keys.
Equality keys. All right.
Yeah.
So, does anybody here have any questions? I do have some questions to ask, but does anybody here have any questions before I go ahead? Okay. Dakota, what do you see as a benefit for joining the keys currency and equality currencies together?
First, there's just this feeling that I'm getting from the equality coin of just really deep resonance and a very powerful ally. That is, to me, the most important deciding factor, is that we are resonating on the same channel, and that by doing it together, it will multiply on so many ways that I can't articulate or identify, really. And then the second is, our biggest obstacle as the Earth Nation isn't acquiring resources, it's acquiring value in the old system. The old system still is like looking at us like they can't see us. We're like invisible. And it sounds like Equality Coin can help us with that. First, by supplying a little bit more liquid funding to get us into our beta stage. And then second, by adding buy orders and backing it with silver. I think we just need a little tiny hop to really encourage our network to invest. And if we can present an image that 1 out of 1,000 people can invest in, we can then advertise to millions of people and get a massive buy-in going. So I think that this might be the catalyst for us to dramatically accelerate to the next stage through this partnership.
Okay, very cool. So the benefit, from what I understood, well, actually, I had a question that sort of distracted me along the way, which is, if this partnership goes through, initially the first proposal we had, for me, it seemed a little bit aggressive and almost like we want to take the keys and fully turn it into equality. And that took everybody off guard, including me. And then the second proposal came out, and it was, no, we're going to change the name. Honestly, the name change just was like, what the hell? We don't know this dude. He came through. He's going to purchase it, and then it's going to be Equality Coins. We believe so much in the keys and the idea of keys, and this is a major change. So if this partnership goes through, will Paul, Man Found Standing, or Equality Keys have major, have major influence and directness and control, sort of like a new CEO? Or are we going to maintain the same balance we had prior to this merger or this partnership, and everything's going to go with complete autonomy and democraticness in the exact same way we're following our procedures? We're going to continue using Lumio, Zoom meetings, having the same chat rooms. Is that all going to continue? I'm going into specifics to just so I can clarify this to all the vote holders and people who had a strong belief and vision with what we had before. So I'd sort of want Dakota to answer this first, and then maybe if Paul can sort of continue off if there's anything else.
Perfect. Such great questions, Mito. Thank you. Really honor and respect your facilitating ability. Fun to see you show up in this way. The answer to your question is that the introduction of a power above our vote holders would be unacceptable, and that we will not go out of alignment with our DAO principles for any amount of money. And it is my understanding that we will keep operating, and that Paul will join us as a coordinator and a vote holder, and that he will also bring with him many other vote holders, and that we will continue to make choices based on -1 round voting process as we always have. And things will continue very much the same, but the team just gets bigger, and the scope gets bigger, and the support gets bigger. That is my understanding of this partnership. Paul?
Yeah, no, that I want to keep everything that you have already going. There's going to be divvying out of the Equality Keys. Before you were there, they were talking about the name change, and they said, what about just Equality Keys? So I went in and I bought the .com, .net, .org right there just for Equality Keys. But yeah, have everything going that way and keep going with what you have there. The nonprofits are going to be controlling the keys, and the individual people are going to be having them as well. But in the system we're building there, its own blockchain, its own control. We're having a section right there that has its own voting system right in it, that you can, you can vote from very silly things like, hey, what color should I dye my hair? There will be silly things, but then there will be actual political things so anybody who has a wallet and anybody who has some coins or some investment in that can vote. And that's having a voting platform that we're building. It's also going to have a encrypted communications device, a data storage place where you can download, data and have that there. It's also going to have, a merchant interface that's secure and all that, so people can buy, sell, trade anything of value right there on the whole compute system. But keep going.
So a couple clarifying questions I have for you, Paul. The first is, our current system is truly democratic. It's one person, one vote. And not everyone gets a vote. You have to earn it. But do you intend for that to continue? One person, one vote?
The way things have got set up there, it's when you're on your own blockchain and you're anonymous and you're keeping everything anonymous because, some people don't want other people or other entities to know who they are. So we have two ways of voting right now. One, it's one wallet can have one vote. That's one way. Now, that really doesn't set up too much, because let's say some crazy person wants to go out and do 100,000 wallets and they put in a vote for this to try to manipulate the vote. That way we don't really know who owns the wallets. The other way is, for every key that you hold in your wallet, that's one vote. So we could set up a system where, hey, look, we're doing a vote on a change. What we're going to do is we're going to change the number of coins from 1 billion to 2 billion. So you can vote by your wallet, so everybody can have a vote, and then you can see the outcome of that, and then you can vote by the number of currency you have in your wallet. Basically there will be 1 billion votes. And so then you can coordinate, the people can coordinate and say, look, most of the people. So if I have
999 million coins, I have complete veto over everything.
That's one way if you wanted to go for that vote, or if you had the wallets. So there's two different ways you can vote. And if you make a major change like that, you can say, hey, look, we're going to go for this change and this change. Then they have to both be in alignment. There. So yeah, if one person went out and massed a whole bunch of control coins, they would have a lot more voting in one system in one way. They also have a lot more invested in that to go, but you can also vote just by the wallet. And I'm sure there's other ways that we can put in there too of voting systems, but it's really trying to keep the anonymity of people. I know some groups and some people, they don't want to be known. They don't want to be recognized. They don't want to be.
That's great. Having the name Anonymous 1, Anonymous 2 for a vote, as long as they're actual wallet holders, wouldn't make a big difference. If DK can go ahead.
Yeah, so I think it's actually absolutely critical for this partnership to continue using our democratic voting system. We're not interested in hive mind investment voting. That we have another DAO, it's called the ASC, where we do that. But in the Earth Nation, it's one person, one vote. And what we do to prevent voting fraud is that we do require to have a vote. We have to see your face. And we're not interested in having a bunch of anonymous style voters. We're also not interested in weighted voting, and would be unable to partner with a system that did not keep our democratic trust reputation, one person, one voting system. So,
but see, you could also look at that having problems down the road, such as if they just all of a sudden pass a law to make cryptocurrencies illegal. They just now have a big fat list of who to go look up, to go visit, and things like that. So you have to also look at, things might get pretty scary down the road. Who knows? But yeah, definitely it's some way of wanting to make it democratic. We definitely want that. Maybe there's a way to merge the two of, hey, look, you have your face, you have your vote, you have this, and you have this registered. You're a trusted person. You've got some collateral in it. One way. I don't know necessarily the whole answers to it, but it's definitely something that you see and I see, that we want it the people run by the people.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Definitely agree with that. The biggest intention. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to say there's also another possibility as you start to get whole systems built, and you have a village that produces all its own goods and it has all its own economy, and you're able to release that child into the world. It can become its own autonomous life form, and it doesn't need to control the rest of the world because it has everything it needs, and that's what I think we're aiming for. And so I feel that, if we keep this organizational structure as a goal, and also within that same mind frame, it's like each, being able to organize in a way where each group can basically not have to make these giant decisions and everyone, and it's all confusing, but start to work towards that. And I would say the best way is through starting right now with the one person, one vote.
And just speaking into that a little more, and about the potential for this movement becoming legalized. It's part of my channel blueprints for us to maintain a massive global media coverage. And we broadcasting live our eco communities and our beautiful smiling faces and our families. We will also be offering sustainable regenerative products and services to the environments around us. So we as a global community are going to be so valuable to this world. The act of attempting to demonize or criminalize us will be absolutely unthinkable. So I'm completely unafraid of enforcement from governments. In fact, they're going to work with us and they're going to love us. And in fact, Time Republic, one of our partners, is working with several governments right now, as is the New Earth Nation. The governments are our friends. No fear here from them. And I just must iterate this, Paul. For us to partner, we absolutely must keep, for now, our democratic one person, one vote. We got to see your face and know who you are. And we would not be able to merge if you wanted to have a stacked weighted voting system.
It's not equal.
Not everybody has to.
So just letting that be known that we want to partner with you, and this is like a hard requirement. We must keep the integrity of our democratic voting system.
What other hard requirements do you have, Dakota? Other necessary ones.
I just wanted to add just something in there is one way that you can keep anonymity and still get votes is to delegate your vote, or you can choose to not be a vote holder. You can still have keys, spend keys, and not be a vote holder. So there's different variety of options, and you can definitely delegate, and that would be a safeguard.
And there's
so right now, for you to have the one vote, that it's actually set up outside of the cryptocurrency platform, correct?
That is correct.
So you kind of, with the equality coin, I was saying, have the coin going and having the votes happen with that coin and all that, everything there. And then you can have the other organizations that, do their own thing and have their own system and set up. But it was trying to make it easy. I mean, can you imagine where this is going to be at when you have 10 million voters? How much time and energy and efforts?
We can automate that. There are systems for that. We can, there are automated identification systems, so people can need to upload a piece of ID to get a vote. There's also another mechanism we can utilize, conditional trust gateways. So to gain a vote holder would need a certain number of pre-existing vote holders to vouch for their identity. 3 people, 10 people, whatever, and that could be completely automated. And I would move for such automation to be in place.
Okay. But again, that's going to be outside your cryptocurrency area. So it's kind of like
it could be built into the blockchain. These systems I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the same way where you build in one vote per wallet or one vote per coin, you can also build in 1 vote per wallet once a wallet meets these criterias that are set up with an automated standard. It can easily be built into the blockchain.
That'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah. So we're right there.
Yeah, you're in alignment with that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I just want 1 person, 1 vote is wonderful. That's what I want. I was just trying to figure out how to make it work where you could still, not have to go through all the words. Automated. Yeah. Get the computer.
I'm curious, Paul, where are you at in the actual blockchain dev?
We scrapped everything we were doing before because our programmer tried to do bad things. And they're a couple weeks into looking at code and doing things for code, but we're still probably months away from launching something.
I am excited to share with you about one of our main partners. Their name is Scepter. It's a team of some of the smartest technical engineers on the planet that have been working for over 10 years to build a 4th generation holochain. And they are months away from creating a platform for us to code our own custom blockchains into. And I think we should just collaborate with them. What they are building is everything we could ever want and more. And they're well into the dev of it. So excited to share that with you. We don't need to tackle that problem, really.
Okay. And then I sent you an email about that too. It's like we kind of want to keep it so it can't ever be, like right now the coin is on the Waves platform. Well, if Waves just decides to all of a sudden raise their transaction things to some outrageous thing that you can't even pay for it, it's like basically they hold your coin hostage. They hold everything hostage. So we kind of want to keep things so it can never be held hostage by another group.
And that's something that's so brilliant with Scepter is it's not like Ethereum or Waves. It's a platform for you to use to create your own source code and your own derivative of their holochain, and then it's completely yours. Once you have it, they have absolutely no control over it. And it's basically a system for holochains. It's like they're blockchains that talk to blockchains, and it's all modular, and it's not like Ethereum or Waves platform in that way.
Let me ask.
So there's less than a minute remaining. So if you guys want to rush, it's probably going to cut some time through.
Go for it.
Go ahead, Paul.
I was just going to ask you, do they have programmers that can build us our coin that we want?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that'll be good.
Yeah. Very cool.
Do we get commission for the sale? We just made that connection.
Free.